Welcome back to Geekshow Helpdesk.
Geekshow
Helpdesk.
Yeah, high
bringing
energy.
bringing that 4 hours of sleep energy.
That's right.
Right in here.
Consequences of Baldur's Gate.
Yep, that's true. I'm trying not to drag everybody into that, but yeah, that's what it was.
This is the Gadget Show, or the Gadget Show. This is the Geekshow Helpdesk, where we talk about tech gadgets and things of that ilk, sciencey stuff. We actually have some science articles today that I think are pretty cool. And let's kick it off by introducing our panelists. We are a panelist shy today. Well, two, I guess. James isn't here. Well, again. And
In spirit, he is.
Lando had some stuff come up at the last second and had to go take care of that. So
It's a family emergency or something, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
We don't know.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
But let's introduce the people who are here. He's on the bottom. He's Owen.
I'm always on the bottom. Follow me on Twitter at TechKnown.
There we go. He's on the top. He's Jaren.
And as long as Owen is on the bottom, I'm happy.
Boom.
This is Jaren. You can find me on Twitter at Jaren.
Getting hot in here.
I'm watching from the corner. I'm Tony. Check me out on Twitter at Quality
Now it's getting
Tony.
spicy.
Now I feel like I have to perform well.
Well, pressure's on. Let's see. Emails. We said we were going to hit some emails today after last week. So let's start with that.
We don't have any.
I pushed the button. We have to read
Oh, we have 3. Wow, where did those come from?
Yeah.
Close one.
You summoned them.
Yep.
Yeah. We got an email from Chris. He says, first, could the emails for these podcasts be put in the podcast description?
Oh, well, yeah, I guess. Have to figure out a way to condense an entire email into 5 words.
Yeah.
We only get 5 words?
This is how it goes.
Each description.
Lang. This is how it goes. This is how it goes. Lang. Lang again. Lang once again. And Lang comes back.
No. I mean the email addresses. I think he means the email addresses.
Oh, yeah, that's easy.
Oh,
I can do that.
sorry.
I thought he meant
Sorry,
like
Lang.
we have.
I attacked you needlessly.
Yeah, you did. Like we have our show notes, and I thought it was like, what was this email about? Like
Yeah.
Five words of what the email was about, and
Maybe he meant both. Maybe he meant both.
Yep.
I appreciate your emails, Lang. Don't take that
did
the wrong
mean
way.
what you guys said. I don't know now. I'm confused.
Or perhaps he means that he wants the
Email address.
email person in the show notes so they can just look at it and see was my email answered this episode or not.
Oh.
Well, there's so many
I think,
decisions.
Chris, you're going to have to...
Send us another email explaining
Yep.
yourself.
We'll
Yep,
get around
this-
to it in a few
Yep.
weeks.
This has really confused us, and we don't know how to proceed from here.
See, we need a Lando or a James to make some random answer here that would help clarify all this, because they would say something so ridiculous that we would be like, oh, he obviously meant.
No. This is the help desk. We'll get to your ticket in a couple of weeks.
Right, that's true. See, normally I would say something dumb, but I'm on a no dumb streak. I'm at 0 days and counting, but today is the day. It's a 0 dumb day for me today.
Good job.
Moving on. Second, can it be Twix instead of X, formerly known as Twitter?
Twix is pretty good.
Ooh.
I'm allergic to Twix.
And don't besmirch Twix.
Sucks for you, man.
No,
They
we
were my
shan't.
favorite for a long time.
We shan't besmirch the good name of Twix.
That's true, yeah.
With
Has Twix
that.
and Oreo ever teamed up? Because that would be freaking amazing.
Pretty sure there have been cookies and cream Twix, yeah.
Oh,
It wasn't
are you
Oreo
serious?
branded, but it was just cookies and cream Twix.
Hmm.
I think I'm going to go
unsanctioned love.
with Squitter. X-Twitter.
Ooh.
Xwitter.
Okay, all right. Finally, why do streaming services stop allowing me to log in from a PC on Chrome after cleaning/deleting cookies? Chrome still remembers the login information and pre-fills, but it won't work, Netflix and Hulu specifically. I get an information is not correct message. Roku still works fine, but I have to reset passwords if I delete cookies on the PC. Thank you for letting me listen, Chris.
Well, if I remember correctly, the cookies and the tokens would be what tell the web page I've already validated and let me through.
But he has to reset the password, though, as if his password
Did he
is
say
incorrect.
reset the password or just
Yeah, he did.
input the password?
I would try it incognito mode first.
If he has to reset the password, I have no idea. That's something messed up, probably with your accounts. I don't know.
Or it could be because you know how Netflix is cracking down on account sharing.
Yeah.
Maybe they have some weird policy
Yeah.
where you can only be logged in on so many browsers before it triggers
you guys
that.
see?
Maybe.
I don't know.
You guys see their earnings report? It's work. That's working for them.
Ugh.
Yeah, plus they're
The
raising the
crackdown
price
is-
on everything.
that
they
crackdown,
they
number one.
blatantly lie in the email they sent
Yeah.
me that says we're charging more so we can give you more.
No.
They are giving me absolutely nothing extra this time, or many of the other times, for
Except
charging
for-
me $3 more. All they're doing is taking more money from me. I'm not getting an extra user on my account. I'm not getting a higher quality stream. I'm not getting higher quality audio. It's just raising the price.
Get off my lawn.
All streaming services doing this now. They finally
It's bullcrap.
Yeah,
got
you're,
us.
You're right. I hate it.
They finally got us where they want us. Next email? Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
We got our weekly from Ling. He says, "Happy Day of the Dead week, gents," which was last week. And Ling,
Halloween.
do you not know what week it is?
Yeah, man.
What's the deal?
You got to write
almost-
as if we're never going to read it. You got to write if we're going to save this. Which we did.
Just kidding. We couldn't read it last week because we had a podcast late. Did we post those desk photos yet? I think we still need those.
Oh yeah, I need to clean my desk up. That's what that means.
What desk photo?
He
he wants
he,
to see our setups.
He wants to see.
Oh
us
no,
ups.
nobody wants to see that.
I
I
think
do.
everyone does. The internet wants
Yeah.
to know.
I'm just gonna send it raw. I'm just gonna send what I have here.
Good for you.
Say it all Gollum-like, please.
No, I don't.
He
want
sends
to
it
do that.
raw and wriggling.
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Not good.
After stopping back at a fizz last week with one of my besties, I snatched her phone away for a prank and was blown away at the number of apps she had. And now I want to know right now, out of you all, who has the most apps on their phone right now. I'm a little embarrassed to say I'm at 177. Next week's
How do you-
letter will have a new number. Keep casting, Lang.
Is there a way to tell just
I don't know.
at a glance? Oh, maybe in the App Store app.
Oh man, Android might.
No,
have
that's
it
how
because-
many you've ever downloaded. Like,
Oh
ever, I
yeah,
think.
that's not installed. I'll bet I have over 100 easy.
apps. Do you want to know my number?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
How'd
don't want
find
to know
out?
my number.
We
well,
do.
I'm on Android.
What does that mean?
Fancy who?
Well, that it's easier, and that Apple hasn't invented it yet.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
It's a lot. It's a lot higher than Lang's.
how much higher?
What's his 177?
Yeah, 177,
Yeah,
something like that.
177.
178.
Not quite double.
Wow.
324.
Judas
Well,
Priest.
respect, Owen. Respect.
You're exactly like what they talk about in Silicon Valley when they
Yeah.
said nobody deletes apps. We can have them install an app and they'll just forget about it.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't figure out how to do this on iOS.
But I would say I'm probably in the hundo club. I wouldn't doubt it. I don't think I have more than 100 though.
I don't know
Looking
what
at
my
screen.
I'm gonna see what all 324 are.
Tap General, tap About. That should tell you, Tony.
Oh, okay.
This isn't fair because the Android one lists even like camera and calendar.
187 for me.
187. I had the lowest, 169.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Some of these I haven't looked at. Some of these I haven't looked at in years.
How do you have less than me? Where I
like-
like to keep things tidy.
Well, like look for instance,
I don't know.
a bunch of stuff that shipped with the
Gotta
Pixel
delete
7
some
Pro
apps.
are on here. Like I'm at this point where I'm just scrolling through pages of I
Of
think
Google
probably
apps?
yeah, it's like 30 or 40 Google apps.
Yeah.
That's like because they all just come like Google Wi-Fi provisioner, Google Wallet, Google TV, Google
So
support
in
services.
reality, you only have like 300, not
Yeah.
320 something.
Exactly. I want that noted
Reflect
officially.
it in the count.
I would like for the record to be that it is not as high as my mother's. Probably.
Well, I gotta keep Duolingo because the last time I used it was like a year ago, and I have
Right.
to keep Vendor Play because I paid for that subscription. I have never even used once.
Well,
See?
there you go. I actually deleted a few. No, that was on my iPad. On my iPad, I deleted a few apps last week.
Jaron gets it.
Yeah.
It's digital hoarding. It's just a gateway drug right here, the phone. Then you get stuff like me.
Well, it's
Digital
just
hoarding leads to being Owen.
Yeah, I mean, my level of digital hoarding is high.
it's
Okay,
quite
yeah.
high. Yeah.
I'm in. If I can
It's
be
just-
anything like you.
It's just so easy to download an app you're going to use once and then forget about it.
And as long as you sign the EULA, they get to keep collecting your data.
That's right. Well, if you use it, if it just sits there unused.
That's one of the Pixel and Android and their Android, whatever version it is now. That's really nice. Is that apps after a certain amount of days lose all of its permissions automatically. So if you gave it
could be-
access,
That could be
cuts them
cool
off.
and
That
frustrating.
would be super annoying. I would not like that.
It's something long. It's like 30 days or something if you don't open
Yeah,
it.
there's many times I don't open an app for 30 days.
Yeah, like specifically my work travel apps.
Yeah,
where I
yeah.
don't
Oh,
travel
yeah,
very
for
I don't
sure.
travel
Travel
very
apps
often.
once
And
a
all of a
year.
sudden, yeah, and so all of a sudden I'm like, "Oh, sign in. Oh, create like add your account. Oh, authorize everything again." I'm like, "Gosh, dang it."
Yep.
All right,
Well-
one more email
There you go. Thanks.
from Not Lang. He says, "Hello, Helpdesk friends and Landon. As you know, I am happy and content living behind the times technology-wise. However,
this must be
occasionally,
Twyman.
this is Twyman. However, occasionally I am reluctantly dragged into the cold dark of the future, and such is the case where recently I was given a new to me receiver. One of the features is it can output 8K and will upconvert 1080p and 4K signals to 8K.
Wow. That's like throwing him into the future.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
like
big
that,
jump
that's a
from
really
Laserdisc.
recent receiver, actually.
He asked me
if
about
it has
it.
HDMI 2.1.
Yep. He asked me about it. I think after or before, right before he sent the email. Anyway, he sent me a link to
Man.
it. It's a nice. I think it's a Denon. It's
Oh.
a nice receiver.
That's better than my receiver. I want friends like that. Gosh. Anyway, I've started looking into a new HDMI cable. Oh, wait. 3 years ago, when my TV died, this was a very long email, and was replaced, I had to rerun the 40-foot HDMI cable through the walls because the existing one couldn't support 4K. At the time, I thought I was set for the foreseeable future, but here I am discovering it will not support 8K. Not only that, I just discovered even though the existing cable was rated for 4K 120 Hz, it was only for lengths under 16 feet. So I'm not even getting the full benefit of my setup. So yeah, you need if it's a super
Active.
long cable, you need a optical cable.
Yeah. Or an active HDMI cable.
I think active is up to 16 feet.
Oh, is that the active one?
I think it is.
I thought. I'll
I
look.
thought that's
Keep
passive.
reading.
I've started looking into a new HDMI cable, and it seems like optical HDMI cables will support the length I need at 8K 60 Hz along with 4K 120.
It
Here's
will
the
for
question.
sure.
Before I again go through the misery of crawling into the attic and pulling cables, I wanted your thoughts, your insight into the future, and if there is something better HDMI cable-wise on the near horizon. I really don't want to be having to pull cable again in another 3 years. If waiting a few months now will get me a newer product that's more future-proof. I've seen 10K being tossed around, and it has me concerned.
Nah, 10K is nothing. Don't even.
I am
worry
also
about that.
open to cable suggestions. It seems there are two camps when it comes to HDMI cables. Those that say the expensive kind with better build materials produce better picture, and those that say digital signals are digital signals, so the quality of the cable/materials don't affect the picture like they did with the older analog signals. What are your thoughts?
The truth is somewhere in the middle on that.
Yeah, so like the wires themselves, whatever's fine, right? As long as you're not getting interference, and you typically don't nowadays. To me, like the problem are the chips on the on both ends of the
On
cable.
ends, yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because those can go out, and if
Yep.
they do, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, so you want to get. I would say stick to relatively well-known name brands. There's cheap, well-known name brands like Monoprice, and I've experimented with Amazon Basics, and they've been decent. And
My
it looks
opinion
like,
is-
according to my research, active and optical are one and the same on HDMI.
My opinion is if you're putting a cable in the wall, do high quality,
Yes.
so that
You don't want to
something doesn't
go back and do
out.
it again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And as far as new HDMI stuff in the future, of course there will be new stuff in the future, but nothing is on the horizon at the moment.
No.
And honestly, anything over 4K, like 4K is almost overkill, and anything over 4K is definitely overkill as far as like sharpness of the picture, unless you have a giant projector screen that is very high quality. So like at this point, refresh rate, I think, is really where it's at, above 4K 120. But even then, there's diminishing returns after 120.
Yep. You're not going to see a console that supports higher than 120 hertz for at least another generation, if you ask
At
me.
least 5 years, probably longer.
Probably longer.
So you'll
I
be
would say,
set for a while.
Yep. Get a nice optical HDMI 2.1 cable, and you should be good for the foreseeable future. I mean, the other factor about 8K stuff is physical media, unfortunately, is going by the wayside. And so how are you going to deliver 8K stuff to your system? It'll be streaming, and no streamer wants to put out 8K footage right now. It's too expensive.
Too expensive.
Too expensive, too much bandwidth required. So
Yeah, and like you literally cannot tell a higher resolution above 4K at couch distances.
you need to have a friggin' 120-inch screen or bigger.
Probably higher than that.
Yeah, to notice the real difference between 4K and
Unless you're in like a legit movie theater.
Well, yeah.
He ends his email. As always, my thanks to Tony, Jaron, Owen, James, Uncle Squinky, Simon, and anyone else who may have contributed in some semi-marginal way to the show's greatness.
Oh, it's too bad Landon's not here to hear this.
No, he included everyone, didn't he?
Oh, did he? Oh, okay.
No, he specifically excluded Landon in that last part.
I think that's what Jaron was saying too.
Yeah. Thanks, Owen, for not understanding the joke.
There you go. Well, starting again at 0.
Start the clock. All right.
0. I'm gonna have to switch it from days to minutes now. 0
5
minutes.
minutes, no stupid
Yeah.
comment. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thanks for writing in, Twyman, Lang, and Sam.
Chris.
I was so close.
Sounds like Sam if you squint. If you squint.
Thanks for writing in. Let's see. We got some interesting articles here. Should we go more for the tech stuff or more for the sciencey stuff today? What do you guys think?
Let's do the tech stuff because that's more timely. Sciencey stuff is more evergreen.
That is a longer process, definitely, the sciencey stuff that we have here. So this is just an announcement. I hope you didn't invest in WeWork. And if you did, I hope that you divested of your stuff in WeWork a long time ago.
Like at least 2 years ago when they started going crazy.
Yeah.
At least when the pandemic happened and no one was in office buildings anymore.
Right.
That should have been your alarm bell saying I should take my money out of this.
Yeah.
Because WeWork has officially filed for Chapter 11 protection. Basically saying that they are, unless there is a crazy good comeback of some sorts, they're probably on their way out.
Toast.
They're rebranding to We Don't Work.
Heyo, got him. Oh wait,
They're getting reworked.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
There's
Good one, Owen.
Great job, guys. You made it. Well done. So yeah, this article I have here linked on Engadget is very interesting because it reminds you of the rise and fall of this company and how crazy things got.
It's crazy now because there is a huge push from the tech sector to go back into the office now.
Yeah.
TechCrunch has been reporting it. CEOs of all manner of startups have been back in the office. Collaboration in person is better. And
if WeWork can weather whatever it needs to keep going for another year or two, they'll probably come out okay. At least by okay, I mean not defunct.
Right.
But as of
Probably
right now, they've
probably similar to like Groupon. You know how big they used to be?
Yeah.
they're
then
still around.
Things came crashing down, and now they're like a company that makes sense for what they do.
Yeah, they're just kind of
Exactly.
It's like recalibration, right?
Yeah.
Like the rebalancing.
Now it makes sense with Groupon.
Yeah.
So, and I think that WeWork is, speculation. My own speculation is if they can hang on by their fingernails like they are right now for the next year or two, then they might come out like that. But at its height, before the pandemic, WeWork was valued at $47 billion.
With a B.
Billion with a B. What was interesting is we find out after the fact, hindsight, WeWork was also on the hook for over $47 billion worth of lease payments in
Oh, really?
2019.
For the building space they had.
Uh-huh.
Have you guys ever been in one of their spaces before?
No.
Or like a shared space like Kiln? My company had a building in San Francisco right by the Giants stadium, and they decided to close it, move out to a place called Pleasanton, but a bunch of people didn't want to leave San Francisco area, so they opened up a WeWork, and I had to go out there and set it up. And I'm telling you, it is cramped in there. It is a shared.
Sure.
It is not a replacement for an office. It is a shared workspace. The workspace we got that was very expensive, obviously San Francisco, right?
When was this, by the way?
This was 2021.
Also, just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Years ago.
So like, when did the pandemic kick into full effect?
2020.
March. Yeah.
March
So
of 2020.
So it must have been right before that. It was actually right before that. It was the year before, because it was right before the whole thing happened and everybody got sent home.
All right.
And I'm telling you, we're talking about like I think it was 7 feet across and about 10 feet wide, and that was
Wow.
and they had
an office building. That's a closet.
and they packed in. Then there were probably 10 of those to a wall. And they're glass walls, and that they just fought. I mean, it's like a commissary. It's like going to a food court. I mean, it's just so many people packed so close together. It was crazy. Not to mention
That's
the
what I
password.
love about food courts, though.
All the
That's
people.
here. And,
Yeah.
yeah. The other thing is, and this is easily this. I mean, at least it was. We had to make an exception specifically for this office and our security team, because the password for their Wi-Fi is the same. They upsell everything.
SSID.
It's the same for every office,
For
everywhere.
everyone.
It's like
wow.
public internet. You can't reach it from the ground floor because their building is so up high that you can't get to the radio. But like, yeah, if you go to the shared lobby and just kind of sit there,
Free internet.
if you just Google the password and you're just like, oh yeah, and if you want to change, we asked them, we're like, we don't. What do you mean? Like they'll occasionally rotate the password, they said, but we never experienced that. But the best part is you're on the same network as everybody else. They don't
Better have
segregate
a
it.
VPN going.
They don't segregate it by company or by rental space. You're all in the same SSID. So like I was like, so what's stopping me right now from just going and doing a network scan for printers
Yep.
and printing off all manner of things? Nothing. What's to stop me from airdropping or from like what's that one, AirPlay to like somebody's TV in there? Oh, nothing. They're like, if you want that
What's to stop you
security
from a DDoS
yeah,
when you're in the network already.
yeah,
Nothing.
yeah, nothing. So if you want, they upsell that. They did. They probably don't anymore.
Sure.
But you can pay for your own. You pay for a network privacy package for
You basically pay for a VLAN. They just set you up
yeah,
a VLAN.
exactly. Yep, it's crazy.
That is wild. So, yeah, there was a big problem. Everyone knows how WeWork had a bunch of issues the first time they tried to go public, and a lot of stuff was brought out about their finances and everything, and they weren't able to go public at the time. And then SoftBank, which was one of their big
Saved
investors,
them, right?
took them in, basically took control of the company.
Saved them, yeah.
This is the part that blows my mind still to this day, though. They pushed out the co-founder and CEO, Adam Newman, with an exit package said to be worth $445 million.
Yeah, golden parachute, baby. He had
He lied to everyone about this company and falsified all of this stuff. And, well, anyway, we're just going to pay $500 million to go
I wonder
away.
if they knew about the real estate, like the lease fees back then. Maybe that was the skeleton that he was kind of threatening with or something. Like something. He had to have some kind of leverage to get that kind of an exit
Could have been.
package.
But so WeWork shares, when it did go public in 2021, were over they went up to over $400.
Some people made some quick cash then, huh?
2 years, as of 2 years ago, they were at $400. But this most recent Monday, the price dropped under $1 a share.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's that? Is that 400% drop?
That is
4,000% drop?
I don't even know the numbers.
What's
for
the
that.
math, Jaron?
400 times drop.
4,000.
Yeah.
4,000. There you go. So, yeah, in September, the company
and they've halted all trading as
they
soon as
halted all trading, and the company in September completed a reverse stock split to try and slow the bleeding so that they could stay above the minimum $1 share closing price required to stay on the New York Stock Exchange. So as you can see,
so it screwed
they
everybody that
went
already
back under $1
Yeah.
after that
So
reverse stock split.
Oh, it screwed everybody that had stocks already.
It doesn't really screw you because you just get whatever the value was in
No.
in a lower number of stocks because each stock is worth more. Each share is worth more. So
Back under $1.
It's still always a sign that things are not good though. Anytime you have a reverse stock split, it's always like, okay, what's going on here? Anyway, so that is the update there. And on the 31st of October, WeWork said it would withhold some interest payments, even though it had the cash to make them in an attempt to improve its balance sheet. And the company entered a 30-day grace period before an event of default.
Right. So like we're holding. I mean, everybody's done that at least. Well, not everybody. I've done that where you're like, okay, I have to go into the grace period on this payment, but companies doing that is a big deal.
That's what they're doing. So yeah, and the fact that they filed for protection, that's another not good sign. So anyway, there you go. WeWork, it might be all done pretty soon.
Won't work.
Ayo. Let's see. Let's talk about the new darling child of the tech sector, AI. GPT-4 Turbo was announced.
Yeah, this is crazy stuff. Not GPT-5, but like the next version of GPT-4. And
Like this
how long
is a hardware.
ago?
Is it like
How
a
long
hardware
ago
advancement?
did GPT-4 come out? It wasn't that long ago.
No,
right?
like
Maybe.
a year.
No, less than that, I think. 8 months, maybe.
OpenAI says that GPT-4 Turbo is giant pop-up. Great. Is both more powerful and less expensive. Less expensive probably being the more important bit right there.
Yeah.
It comes in 2 versions, one that's strictly text and another one that is both text and images. The text version is available in preview via API today, and is supposed to make both available in the coming weeks. So the improvements in GPT-4 Turbo, it says one of them is being a more recent knowledge base to draw on when responding to requests. It offers a 128,000 token context window, 4 times the size of GPT-4's. That essentially means that you can have 100,000 words or 300 pages of a response, which is like the length of Wuthering Heights, Gulliver's Travels, or Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. And let's see. Yeah. So they're looking into there's another version made by a different company called Anthropic that they're experimenting with a 200,000 token context window.
That's massive.
600 pages if the math stays the same. Jeez.
But GPT-4 Turbo is 100,000, and it's also going to support a new JSON mode.
They bill by the syllable, is what I was reading in there. So like,
there's some like weird billing model stuff that companies have to worry about. But
It sounds like this is mostly streamlining update, not so much new language model or anything like that, but just updating the database and making it
efficiency
more
updates, right?
Yeah, and updating it to recent information.
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting. All right. Well, there you go. Our AI overlords creep ever closer to world domination. Also, in the tech. And I'm so glad you put this article on here because it was what I wanted to see. The Bored Apes NFT news. Did you? I thought they were dying. I know they were still around.
Nope. They finally made a real world impact. Here we go. Bored Ape NFTs have finally made a real life impact with an actual monetary value. It's a negative value, but they did it.
Hospital
So
stays.
they had an event, the Bored Ape NFT event.
Where was it?
This was at
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. Where they had an event at Hong Kong, and where people, I mean, I guess you could trade. It was like a floor where you could walk around and see crap that is probably not worth much. But anyway, the point is the ultraviolet lights that they used to light up the screen, because they had all the apes up on the stage, burned the retinas of the attendees and workers that were standing close.
Oh my gosh!
It's called, commonly known as welder's eye. Is
Yeah.
if you're welding and you don't shield your eyes and you look at the arc. People were waking up hours later with massive pain, just debilitating. There's been people, they've had to have medical intervention, including antibiotics, and they're just like, and their reaction is just like, let's downplay this. Listen, everybody.
It's fine.
Listen,
it's
listen,
fine. It's just
listen.
happened in the past with other
Yeah.
things.
Listen, everybody. It's less than 1% of the attendees that were there.
Come on,
Okay.
it's fine.
Okay.
Which think about that. They got if 15 is less than 1%, they actually had a pretty good sized crowd. That's
Yeah. Right.
That's hundreds. That's
So-
wild.
But I think so far, so my stuff, my favorite post so far, because it got me. So people have been responding on X, saying, that's some bull crap, and they're poking fun at them or whatever. But my favorite so far is here's their response. Okay, Bored Ape, apes. We are aware of the eye-related issues that affected some of the attendees of Ape Fest, and have been proactively reaching out to individuals since yesterday to try and find the potential root causes. Based on our estimates, we believe that much less than 1% of those. Oh crap! It cut me off. Were affected basically, and somebody just used the blur tool on the text and said, "Fix the post for you."
It just blurred it.
And I clicked into it because I was like, "Oh, I wonder what he actually said." And it's just another blur. It's just blurred. Like that's the whole tweet. He just blurred the text. Oh
so
man,
funny.
I
I
got a
love it.
chuckle. I got a chuckle out of that. But yeah,
I was reading about
UV lights.
Yeah, I was reading about what possibly caused this. Oh, it's called photokeratitis.
Yeah, that's the official name.
The official name for welder's eye. But what probably caused this, or at least is possible, and it's happened in the past, is at events, sometimes the organizers, or at least one other time, the organizer used the wrong ultraviolet light on the stage or in the audience, instead of being one that is just like makes neon things glow.
Right.
They used the ultraviolet bulbs that are used for disinfecting things.
Right, or like a fish, or like a
They
fish
didn't
tank
want
bolt, like a
COVID at the
saltwater
event. All right.
Yeah.
Right, or like a reef light. Those reef lights will do the same thing. They emit that ultraviolet, but the K rating, like where they are on the spectrum, yeah, that'll burn you good.
So there you go. I just
There you
thought
go.
that was
It's they, but to Bored Apes' credit, they now have a monetary value. You could actually take the money that people have had to spend, besides throwing their money to buy them, but the real world impact that they've had. So
they got in the news again.
and they got in the news for their event that nobody knew about,
Exactly.
except for the people that are like, I still have my Bored Ape.
Yep. And then let's swing back over to the AI sector with Twitter's new, I guess it's not Twitter, it's Elon Musk's new AI bot, large language learning model, Grok.
So I thought about this as ChatGPT Turbo is coming out, ChatGPT 4 Turbo. OpenAI's got a problem. They don't have a source of data anymore, or at least freely accessible data like they did before. Reddit closed down their API, Twitter closed down theirs, Meta closed off theirs. All these places where they were normally training their AI models have now been shut down, right? And it's because these companies, Twitter and Reddit, they've realized they have something there, because by and large, people are still just posting on Reddit like normal. So the language model, and all they have to do is add to their EULA that we can use it to train our own AI. Mm-hmm. And they've got something stronger. Well, Musk didn't waste time with this either. He made Grok. Do you guys know what Grok is? Now, I made the joke in our notes from Crocodile Dundee when he goes, "What's a Gronk?"
Oh,
And then the big guy comes up and headbutts me and goes, "That's a Gronk."
that's a Gronk.
Well,
Grok was something to do with an old sci-fi term for understanding, to understand.
It's coined from a 1961 old film, but it
Wow,
says
good, Tony.
it says understand something intuitively or
you
by
go.
empathy, right? So it's basically to naturally understand things. To use in the sentence, it's kids, because of all the commercials, children grok things immediately, right? Like they
They
intuitive
grok consumerism.
they grok capitalism, right? Like it's
Yeah.
programmed in. So basically, it's something that we learn intuitively, which is I think where he's getting this. But
Oh,
but
here
yes,
we go. Specifically, Robert A. Heinlein.
Yeah.
Heinlein for Stranger in a Strange Land.
there you go. It's like what 1961 film or
1960.
something.
No, it's a book.
Oh, it's a
he
book.
wrote. Yeah,
Yeah,
Heinlein,
okay.
Heinlein's Stranger in a Strange Land.
So of course their chatbot is going to be provided part of the waste of money called X Premium Plus, $16 a month. I don't know exactly what the AI is going to give you. Maybe write your tweets for you, write in your. I don't know if it can write in your tone, so it analyzes just your tweets and then tweets things like you would on your behalf. But I think specifically, this is an entry into the game where Elon Musk can create something like ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Because he holds the database of words, right?
Not good words.
No, nope.
Well, and that was his attempt to, allay that a little bit or make it normal, was saying it will have a bit of wit.
Yeah, a bit
It's
of
supposed
wit.
to have a bit of wit.
It's going to be a little bit spicy, I guess.
A rebellious streak.
But I feel like Meta's working on their AI currently, and they've got a huge data trove. I'm sure I think Reddit will announce something soon if they haven't already. In that same vein, because they've got these.
I don't think Reddit's going to make its own AI. I think Reddit's going to sell its databases.
They price themselves out in that way.
Yeah.
Like their API
now,
pricing.
they'll come
Yeah,
down,
true.
They'll
True.
come down.
True.
But that it makes me wonder, like, if Grok actually does go big and become one of the favored, AI bots, it could actually, if he uses the Twitter language learning model or whatever, the Twitter databases, it could actually turn out that his investment in Twitter might actually pay off.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
for the access to the databases.
And also,
which I hate to say.
I know.
Don't say that.
And also, the API calls that the training models could use were not infinitely back. As like on the other side of that Iron Curtain, their bot will have access to much more information
to the beginning.
And at the beginning, and also it will have the original Twitter algorithm that tweaks things for your content. So it'll be powered that way. I find that fascinating and also terrifying at the same time, because it's a lot. It's how many years has Twitter been around? How much, could it go back and learn? It's very interesting. I think that you'll see companies that got taken advantage of in the ChatGPT, because ChatGPT and OpenAI, they kind of hit first. They had this going on, nobody kind of saw it coming, and then ChatGPT 3 came out, and it was like solving world problems overnight and changing people.
Put some quotes around that.
Yeah, world problems.
Quote,
it was
solving world problems and quote.
Yeah. By that I mean it was answering questions, not with correct answers or even true, but
they were answers.
But they were answers. It was
That's how I, deal with work.
I'm basically an AI bot at work.
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know. Grok sounds interesting. I don't know. I mean, obviously he's starting out with his Premium Plus thing, $16 a month, but I don't know what features it's actually going to give you. It doesn't really talk about it. They call it XAI. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. See where this monster goes to.
Yep. Well, bad news for MyQ owners and users, because unlike AI, MyQ is going to get dumber.
Is this a smart garage door opener that I've been so jealous of you guys in MyQ forever.
It's made by Chamberlain. And for years they sold this HomeKit version where it's basically just the normal MyQ, but also integrates with HomeKit. They stopped selling that last year, and people that bought the normal one, they could use something like Homebridge or Home Assistant to connect to other services such as Google Assistant or HomeKit, just like I mentioned, or even Alexa, stuff like that. Well, Chamberlain decided that was a little bit too customer friendly, not creating these integrations, but just allowing them to happen. And today they're like, nope, sorry, no more of these unsanctioned integrations, no more of other people making our product better because we can't do it on our own. So they shut them off, and there's really no replacement for that.
They didn't provide a replacement option?
No, unless you get a different product, or if you want to integrate with If This Then That. Remember that?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, how many people use that nowadays? But you have to pay for all of those integrations.
Oh my gosh.
And as an example, Tesla, they have an official integration with Chamberlain, and you have to pay something like $400 for 10 years to be able to open and close your own garage door.
Yeah.
Which is nuts, right? So there are other options out there, and I would encourage any of you to go for those other options, anything but Chamberlain. Unless you're one of the lucky few who got one of the HomeKit enabled versions that they no longer sell. Luckily, I have one of those, so I'm good as long as Apple doesn't update their API so much that it stops working over the next couple of years.
So you had to get the whole opener, like the whole garage door opener?
No, it's a like an add-on that you just.
It basically just it has a sensor that you put on the door that tells that's able to tell if it's down or if it's up, right? And then that sensor goes back to a box that can do that thinking and talk to the Wi-Fi signal in your home to broadcast out to your app to tell you if it's up or down or how long it's been up or down. And then it also, the way it works basically is it just it sends the same wireless signal out to your garage door opener that your clicker in your car does, right? To open and close it.
Because I just pulled them up on KSL because like, oh man, my garage door opener is going out. And I was just looking at garage door openers in general because of this, but they have a Chamberlain smart one on there for $200, new in box. It's not nuts. It's not the whole unit. It's you guys just have an add-on, like an integration.
Yeah, it was like $50, or I think I got mine on sale for like 35 or 40.
Yeah, the HomeKit ones were a little bit more expensive, and my version doesn't have a sensor on the door itself. It just knows if it's open or closed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a different
one.
Because
they sell this one that's a smart. It's listed as smart, and it has like an app and everything that does that. Maybe they've pivoted towards that.
Yeah, if they're being not consumer friendly like that,
it's like consumer hostile. It's greedy.
When mine goes out, I'll be getting a different one. Then that's pretty weak sauce, Chamberlain.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to not build out the integrations yourself, but it's a whole other to actively make it worse for the people who did that work for you.
Right.
Yep.
Without releasing a product that's intuitive.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Let's see. I think, let's do a quick lightning round and call it a day. Mine is an article I've had sitting on here for a couple of weeks, and we could do it real quick. It's basically a space drug can't land on Earth. So there's a company out there that is using microgravity. It sends up satellites to test drug manufacturing, and in this case, it's growing crystals of the drug that they're trying to make. Ritonavir, which is an HIV drug, and the microgravity lets it produce larger, better crystals, right?
Right.
That are used in the manufacturing of this HIV drug. And they're just experimenting right now. It's not like any sort of source of product at this point, but if it works, then it'd be something they might, want to pursue. However, the problem is it's in orbit right now, and they're not allowed to bring it back down.
Yeah, because if it vaporizes in atmosphere, they're like, so we're going to dose our entire population with this crystal?
Well, if only it were something fun and interesting like that. The truth of the matter is it's just mundane. a mundane issue of them not filing the right paperwork with the FAA.
So they can't bring it down.
So they're having to basically go through and, redo all the regulatory work that they did incorrectly the first time. And they're trying to land it in one of the desert parts of Utah.
Right. Pretty popular. That's where they landed that Bennu one as well.
So, yeah, that I just thought that was interesting. First, that someone's trying to use space to make like more effective drugs, and then two, they can't land it because not because of any like weird science fiction reason. No, they just didn't file the paperwork correctly. Now it's
sounds like Trump's legal team.
Hey, got him. Trial by jury. All right, there you go. On to Jaren for his lightning round.
I think it's the most exciting story of the week, actually, and I'm disappointed you buried this for a lightning round, but Sony single-handedly is completely changing the camera industry. Giant leap in camera technology.
Of course you think this is the most interesting.
It is. It's genuinely cool. It's their new A9 III mirrorless camera.
Course.
It's a full-frame camera, and the new technology here is called a global shutter. In pretty much every other camera out there, they have a rolling shutter where it's like row by row as it goes down, similar to how like the old CRT TVs worked.
Yeah,
like, you know how it starts at the top and then goes down to the bottom. So rather than do that, it just does it all at once. And this really helps with image quality. Like there's no distortion at all.
Like high speed. What about high speed photos that help with that?
It helps with that quite a bit. So you can take full megapixel pictures at 120 frames per second.
Wow. That's a lot. That sounds like a lot.
It is a lot.
I don't want to reset my timer, so I'm gonna not say anything.
I think that we're not nearly as excited about this as Jaren thinks we should be.
You should be.
I'm trying to support him, but I really don't want to reset my counter.
Full 24.6 megapixels, 120 times per second.
That's cool.
I want one.
It's nuts.
You are making me want one.
See, the reason supportive Owen, good job.
Yeah.
The reason that I think this doesn't crazily impress me is because I honestly thought that's how it already worked. Was it just exposed the whole sensor.
What were they doing before?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when the first flat screen TV came out, and old people were like, "What's the difference?"
Just a TV.
Still see the picture.
So to me, I see this and I'm like, oh, reality's caught up to my imagination. All right.
Neat.
It can also do 4K 120 FPS with no crop. So normally videos have to crop in. It also does 14-bit RAW shooting for 192 frames with real-time autofocus and flash sync at any shutter speed.
This sounds
so because of this,
for 5 minutes.
Because of the global shutter, it also allows photographers to ramp shutter speeds without lifting their finger off of the shutter button. The only problem here is it's really unknown how it's going to be in low light at this point.
So it's useless.
I now don't want it. I hate it.
This is trash.
It's unknown. It's unknown.
That's not enough. That's not enough for me. I need a known quantity. I need a known entity. I need data.
They've made no claims about low light performance, so we don't know yet.
That
If
they're not
there were
about it,
yeah,
it's
then
not
they're
that good.
That's right.
It goes up to 51,200 ISO, but this particular the A9 lineup, this has always prioritized speed over higher resolution and low light performance.
Give us a price.
But this is the first time they've updated it since 2019. This particular model, so it's been a long time.
Yeah.
And this awesome new camera technology can be yours for a low price of $6,000.
Oh, I was gonna say $49.99, but I was low there.
Hey, it's cool. All right,
$6,000. That's
new
not
tech
any,
has to start somewhere. Okay,
that's not
that's like
including any lenses either, is it? That's just the body.
That's just the body.
The body.
That's corporate. That's ESPN money. You know, they need that to This is not consumer.
Yeah, this is.
level.
I don't even know if $6,000. I don't even know if I fit that into prosumer.
Yeah,
that would be the very
national.
high
This is
end of prosumer.
national. Yeah, National Geographic level stuff here.
Yeah. All right. Well, technology advancements in any ways is good, I think. So great job, Jaron. Good story.
No, great job, Sony. I didn't make it. Sony
Oh.
did.
Great
You
job,
brought
Sony.
it. You brought it to us though. So props to you, Jaron.
Thank you, Owen.
Yeah.
Lightning round for. Oh wait, he gets
Here
a
we go.
thank and I get yelled at. What's that? We said the same thing.
It was the tone. I came in with that robot empathy I've been working on. How about this? Netflix had another event. Remember their Netflix house we talked about?
Yes,
They've got another one. This is the Geeked Inc. event. Now, haven't you, dear listener, and you here with me today, ever wanted to get a tattoo of your favorite Netflix series?
Yes.
Well, now
all
you
the
can.
time.
Well,
Every
now
day I
you
think about it.
We know
Now
how
you-
long and lasting those are, right?
now, yeah, exactly. Not fleeting
2
at all.
seasons. That's it.
So, in another what I'm going to call debacle of marketing, Netflix is doing their Geeked Inc. event, wherein if you sign up and you get a place, you can come to this event and get a free tattoo. That's right, not a temp tattoo, not some of that nonsense mamby-pamby temporary stuff, but a full-on tattoo of Stranger Things, or what's Squid Games, or
Yeah, they have a bunch of examples of things that they're going to
Great UK Bake Off. I don't know, like what's the
Great British Bake Off.
There you go.
Yeah, they have like the walkie-talkie from Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
They have Thinking Cap. They have Wednesday Coffin.
So
Yeah.
if you go on X and you go to Netflix Geeked, that's their Twitter handle for this. They literally have a schedule for the month of November where they're going to be. So they're going to be in Atlanta, New York City, Denver, Los Angeles, Richmond. So yeah, if you want to, they said, hey, go online and here's how you schedule. And but don't let that stop you. If there's no spots open, please come in and see if you can get booked.
See if we have time.
Manage to snag a booking. If you don't manage to snag a booking, try your luck with a walk-in. Please don't not come to our event.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
well, they have a whole page here of Castlevania tattoos.
yeah,
Interesting.
maybe that one.
If I was going to do any of them, it would probably be Love, Death, and Robots. Something
Yeah.
from Love, Death, and Robots, because that is really cool.
And I guess if you're
And
really
it stands by itself.
yeah, I guess if you're really into it, I don't know. This seems, I mean, this is as crazy to me as the Netflix house where.
Oh, yeah. There's no
you
way
know.
I would actually do this.
This is permanent. Like, I guarantee you, if I looked
That's
at
how
all
tattoos
these,
work.
but if I looked at some of
Nailed
these
it.
images, I would bet you that even right now, since this article came out, when did they post this? November 2nd. So 5 days ago, as of this recording, I bet you some of these shows have been canceled.
Got him.
You know?
Boom.
I don't know. I can't see this being. Anyway, well, there you
I'll
go.
tell you what, though. My wife and I watch, I think we've watched every season of Inked, the tattoo like competition show. Really quite an interesting show.
Oh, I love tattoos.
Some awesome, like amazing artwork. But the craziest thing about that show to me is people will come in and volunteer to be canvases,
Right.
not knowing what they're going to get tattooed
Oh,
on them.
and I'm totally
They're
okay
just
with
like, I
people's
want a
choice in
tattoo.
that. Yeah,
Go ahead.
I'm totally cool with that people's choice in that, like to use their body as a canvas or whatever. Sometimes I'm like,
This
you
just
know, that
feels
whole
like, free marketing, you know?
this is like no regrets.
Yeah.
Not even one letter. You're like, not even one letter. Okay. Anyway, so
Get the wow tattoo and it should say mom.
yeah, maybe you're
It's upside down.
Maybe they're an acrobat and they do a lot of handstands. You know.
That's one of my favorite things, favorite jokes in Silicon Valley when I can't remember his name, the guy with the glasses and the beard who's the Satanist.
Yeah.
He's putting something on a shelf and Dinesh, is that his name? I can't remember. Kamal Kumal
Nanjiani.
Nanjiani's character says, "I thought you were a Satanist. Why is your cross tattoo upside down?" Because when he has his hands up like this, the cross is normal. It's like, shut up. It's because my arms are up. That's so funny. All right.
Well, yep, that's it for that one.
There we go. That's the end of this episode. Thanks so much for downloading us. Before we leave, though, big shout out to our awesome Patreon backers, patreon.com/gadgetspot. And if you donate $6 a month or more, you get a shout out on the air, which Jaron has for us right now.
Thank you to David Broshinsky, Connor Keesaw, and Wiffleball Tony, our ultra special tech daddies. Upskilled Triantula, Andy Bird, B the 8-year-old, Travis Johnson. Check out the new Baldur's Gate 3 custom tech stickers at Pieman Graphics on Etsy. Jeremy, No Name No Color, Castello, Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz, Nathan Motzkus, Matt Nelson. Y'all should check out Hendrix Craftsman on Insta and TikTok. Me, Speechless Like a Japanese Video Game, ... Josh D, Adam, Aaron Faulkner, Stuart Lloyd, Joe, There's No Place Like G28X0Y0Z0, Ryan M, and Adam Hecht. Thank you, guys. And if you guys are tired of hearing the same names each week, go ahead and change them. I have to read whatever you put.
Yeah, you can make Jaron say whatever you want. For any tier. Any donate.
Whatever you want.
For $6, you can make Jaron say whatever you want. Somebody needs to... There has not been an Uncharted diss in here for years.
It's been a while.
Yep. We need some help there.
Well, there also hasn't been an Uncharted game in years.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
Kind of
Hurting you with Uncharted is always okay.
It's always in style.
Yeah, it's
always never not in style.
Or
Better than the games themselves.
Or Star Wars or whatever that other show. Star Wars, is that it? That's the show you like, or game? Anyway.
I don't know.
Jedi something order or some Jedi game or whatever.
I wish I could like that, but it runs so horribly on the computer. Like, why even try, right?
Right, give up on
That's
it.
right.
Let's all give up on Uncharted 2.
Yeah.
No, Uncharted 2 is the best one.
Oh.
No,
I meant
No
I think
way.
I meant Uncharted also, but I'll allow it.
All right, that's it. Lando's not here to take us out. Jaron I'm going to let Jaron do it this time.
Good
So
idea.
until next week, Jaron, take us out.
We love you all. Something, end user.